Politics really is about relations and the exchange of ideas between people. DIPD, the Danish Institute for Parties and Democracy, is an organization set up by the Danish Parliament, and the purpose of our activities is to support the development of well-functioning political parties in new democracies. To some degree, we can be happy that democracies seem to evolve and develop in many places of the world. The thrust of our programs have been in Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
Okay, so ready for the first one? Yes. You look very good.
Of course, the circumstances and the conditions in Bhutan and Denmark are so different. But I think that's a very good thing, because it makes it so much easier for us to learn from each other. I mean, if one country was just a copy of another country, I mean, there was not much point in trying to learn from each other. It's a privilege and a great joy to be able to welcome the representatives of the political parties from Bhutan here in Denmark. Obviously, a number of people from DIPD and Danish politicians have met the Bhutanese in their own country, but we are so happy that we're able to try to give them an impression of the background that we have all experienced when we talk to them and discuss with them how to develop their democracy.
I think the only way you can genuinely inspire others is that you use the historical capital that we have from our own society. The struggle of political parties to develop over time, to meet their electorate during elections, the way they've developed youth organizations within the political parties, etc. It's very important that we are honest with the limitations of our own democratic system. So when we have study tours coming to Denmark from Nepal, Bhutan, etc., we always make it a point to bring in academics and politicians who will also tell about what we still need to do better in Denmark.
Right now we're in the Danish Parliament, Christiansborg, and we're having a seminar where I'm trying to give my interpretation on how the Danish political system works and how our consensus political culture is a big part of politics in Denmark. Well, we started actually as a two-party system and been evolved into a multi-party democracy in Denmark. Well, I hope that the countries that we're working with can learn from Denmark and we can learn from them. And it's in this process where people are meeting, politicians are meeting, exchanging ideas and getting new ideas, evolving the political project that we're having from a democratic point of view. It's this dialogue and interaction, politicians to politicians across borders, that hopefully can help a more democratic world to be built in the long run.
I've landed in Tanzania in Dar es Salaam, and tomorrow I will go to Mwanza, where I have been invited to see a General Assembly in a district called Sengerema, where they are going to elect the people for different posts within CHADEMA.
My party is a major opposition party in Tanzania, CHADEMA, Chama, Demokrasia na Maendeleo. This is the core of our cooperation, that we were facilitated, and thanks that you don't come with the money and say do that or that. We plan together, we sit and agree that this is the program. The people of CHADEMA benefit by getting more trained people, more competent leaders, more focused leaders after the training, and our friends from the People's Conservative Party of Denmark, they benefit in the good relationship now that has been created between the two people.
CHADEMA! CHADEMA!
And we have been working together with CHADEMA from the beginning of last year.
Tumekuwa tukishirikiana pamoja na CHADEMA toka mwaka uliopita.
And we have been working on a project called Empowering Women and Youth towards Multiparty Democracy in Tanzania. When we first got involved in the cooperation and have decided what to cooperate about, we found that the results in fact came very quickly.
Tumejiunga CHADEMA kutokana na nafasi ambazo vijana wengi tumekuwa tumezikosa katika siku nyingi za hapo awali. Ukilinganisha CHADEMA na vyama vingine vya kisiasa, hasa chama kinachotawala Tanzania CCM, vijana ambao wanatoka vyuoni wasiokuwa na kipato hawawezi wakajiunga kutokana na fursa hizo. CHADEMA ni msingi, ni programu ambayo tumeianzisha ili kuwafikia wananchi, hasa wale wa sehemu ya chini kabisa. Tumekwenda vijijini, tumekwenda katika sehemu ambapo vyama vingine vyote vimeshindwa kufika.
We are confident to come public and say we are the strongest political youth organization in Tanzania in terms of structures, in terms of organization, and in terms of influencing different opinions in the country, because the network exists and everybody can see it, and the network can administer itself.
The next step is to get our fellows organized everywhere. And that's why soon after elections, we would want very much to center on capacity building. Capacity building, as I said, on leadership skills, managerial skills, planning skills, legal framework, understanding of how the governance works in Tanzania. Though we have this big population of young people in the party, but mainly it has been dominated by male young people, not the female ones.
In African traditions, not only Tanzania, but I'm talking of African tradition, it's like women or girls were not supposed to go to school, so they didn't get access to education. And as a result, they lack confidence, because I believe that through socialization, going to school, that is where you meet people. There is where you build your confidence. Although we are now 53 years after independence, but still that culture is still there.
The partnerships that DIPD engage on, whether it's through the Danish political parties or our own efforts, multi-party activities, really require, in order for the money to be invested wisely, a lot of preparation.
Hvad vi har fokuseret på de sidste år er styrke kvinders ligestilling, styrke partiets interne kommunikation.
Once one of the Danish political parties have identified a relevant partner and have agreed on a project with all the activities which goes into it, they specify very elaborately a program and a budget for the activities, and then they produce an application to the board of DIPD. We review it after it has been thoroughly reviewed by the Secretariat, and then in most cases we've been able to grant the money to the programs.
We're now getting very close to the meeting place for today's 2014 Constitution Day celebration. People are focusing on one of the most fundamental elements of our democracy, the Constitution. We have made it a tradition in DIPD that we utilize this opportunity to bring people to Denmark. So that's where we will be meeting Prime Minister and other party leaders, speaking to us on what's their mind about democracy in Denmark in 2014. What we need to do is to show them if the Constitution is living in the minds of people. And when I talk about people, I'm talking about ordinary Danes.
skal vi ikke give Helle en rigtig varm velkomst.
Danmark er jo et specielt land, og vi er et af de lande i verden, som har haft de bedste og mest fredelige erfaringer med at indføre folkestyret. Og det skal vi vel nok være taknemmelige over. En af vores grundlovs største styrker, det er, at vi på tværs af forskellige politiske skillelinjer bakker op om den. Der er selvfølgelig meget, vi er uenige om, men vi anerkender de her stærke fælles spilleregler.
It's really to give them some inspiration. Academic inspiration, historical inspiration, here and now inspiration.
My name is Shrishti Rana and I work as DIPD representative in Nepal. Nepal's democratic system is fairly new. It was restored in 2006. So there's a lot of things that we can learn from your experience, and DIPD is useful in bringing those experiences to our political leaders. So this week Bjorn is visiting Nepal, and we are planning to have a steering committee meeting outside Kathmandu where they will discuss about our 3-year programs. They'll discuss on what they want to focus, activities, and what they would like to see as results achieved in these 3 years.
I think the example of how DIPD has helped a group of political parties to come together in a platform which we call Jump Ups and work together there, that has been an extremely good experience.
Last 10 years, we were in an opposite pole. We fought each other. Now, suddenly, we are working together. We have differences. We are very much agreed on that. Whatever has been done past is past.
You sort of demonstrate and show from the political leadership point of view that you are able to work together despite all the differences that we are having. So in that sense, I think that that kind of support, which has been a moral support, a financial support, a technical support from DIPD, has benefited the political leaders in the parties.
Thank you. Let me start by congratulating you on the Violence Against the Women initiative. I think it's a strong expression of the ownership which you as members of Jump Ups have taken. An initiative like this is critically important because however much all the civil society organizations, the women's organizations can do, it's really important that there is political leadership on an issue like that. I don't believe in the big D, the one and only great democracy idea. I don't think that's what's going to change societies in a democratic direction. I think it's the many, many small Ds. It's what Jump Ups does in a small area about women in political parties being dominated by men.
Jump Ups आजभन्दा 3 वर्ष अगाडि हामी यहाँ नेपालमा स्थापना गर्यौं र यो एउटा लोकतन्त्रको लागि, लोकतान्त्रिक संस्कारको लागि राजनीतिक पार्टीहरुमा र जनता माझमा पनि यसलाई विकास गरेर लिएर जाने, कसरी पार्टीहरु भित्र लोकतान्त्रिक संस्कार, पार्टी बीचकै लोकतान्त्रिक संस्कार निर्माण गर्ने यस उद्देश्यले जम्प अप्स स्थापना गरेर नेपालका मेजर पोलिटिकल पार्टीहरु, खास गरेर 6 वटा पार्टीहरु, 3 वटा ठूला पार्टीहरु र 3 वटा मधेस बेस्ड पार्टीहरु
सिक्नुपर्छ भनेर यहाँ पनि हामीले त्यसलाई चाहिँ एउटा सिकाउने प्रयत्न पनि गरेका छौं जम्प अपबाट। त्यसो भएको हुनाले पनि मलाई के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि यो हाम्रो दुई देशको बीचको सम्बन्ध पनि हो र दुई देशको बीचको चाहिँ नि राम्रा कुराहरू चाहिँ नि सिक्ने सिकाउने यो जम्पअप र डिपिडको चाहिँ नि संयोजनले त्यसले पनि गरेको छ। मुख्य कुरा त राजनीतिक दलहरू डेनमार्कको राजनीतिक दल र नेपालको राजनीतिक दलको बीचको सम्बन्धलाई चाहिँ नि धेरै विकसित चाहिँ गरेको मैले महसुस गरेको छु र त्यसमा थप चाहिँ नेपालको राजनीतिक दलहरूलाई अझै बलियो बनाउनको लागि यसले चाहिँ सहयोग गरेको छ।
When we go on a mission like this, the major purpose is to meet with all the political parties and the steering committee. Often, however, there will be a situation where one or two of the political parties has prepared a special workshop. It can be on multiparty democracy, it can be on women. And on this mission, we have the Communist Party, which has called together some of their key members from around Nepal to discuss the work that the Communist Party is doing on women in politics.
हाम्रो पार्टीले अहिले समानता महिला पुरुष बराबर गराउनु पर्छ भन्दा एकैचोटी महिलालाई 50% मा लान नसक्ने अवस्था भएको हुँदा हामीले 33% को अवधारणालाई लागू गरी कम्तीमा पनि कुनै पनि कमिटी उनीहरुको महिलामाथि हिंसा भइराखेको छ। महिलाहरु चाहिँ आफै घरभित्र पनि हिंसा नहोस्, समाजबाट हिंसा नहोस्, सम्मान ढंगले चाहिँ उनीहरु पनि अगाडि बढ्न सकोस् भनेर चाहिँ हामीले जम्पअपले चाहिँ त्यो क्षेत्रमा पनि काम गरेको छ। महिला हिंसा विरुद्धको चाहिँ एउटा चेतना जागृत गर्नको लागि हैन त्यो हिंसा अन्त्य गर्नको लागि चाहिँ जम्पअपले पनि त्यो कामहरु गरेको छ। त्यसो भएको हुनाले चाहिँ महिला पुरुष जम्पअपमा DIPD मा महिला पुरुष समान छन्।
The people's meeting is like a festival, so all of the parties have their own stands or tents or houses where they have different events going on. Not only the parties, but also Danish and international NGOs and all kinds of different political and social associations have stands all over the people's meeting.
I think it's fun meeting our Nepalese and Bhutanese friends right here in the middle of all the debates which are going on from morning to evening. And now I'll be taking them to a discussion in which I take part myself on labor market issues. The People's Meeting is a new institution in the Danish democracy, and I'm sure that all of us who take part in the political life feel that this is the most vibrant. This is the place where we meet in a good mood and have discussions. So in many ways you would say this is a very good showpiece of all the best sides of Danish democracy. The voter can actually meet the Prime Minister and have a discussion as they walk around the marketplace.
Miaka ya awali watu walikuwa ni waoga sana hasa kujitokeza kujiunga na vyama vya upinzani. Na hasa ukiunganisha watu ambao wamesoma. Watu ambao ni wasomi ambao tumemaliza vyuo vikuu, ilikuwa ni vigumu sana kujiunga na vyama vingine vyote vya upinzani.
Rais ana uwezo wa kusitisha hilo bunge kwa kushauriana na spika wa ile bunge ili yule spika airishe hilo bunge la katiba linaloendelea sasa.
Unapozungumza siasa, unazungumza maisha ya mwanadamu. Anakaa vipi? Anakula nini? Anaishi wapi? Ndio maana unapozungumza siasa unazungumza uchumi. Unapozungumza siasa unazungumza afya. Unapozungumza siasa unazungumza elimu. Ili uwe na elimu bora ni lazima uwe na siasa safi. Na kama utakosa siasa safi, huwezi kuwa na elimu bora, huwezi kuwa na afya bora, hauwezi kuwa na serikali bora. Kwa kuwa mwanzo tulikuwa hatuna siasa safi. Tulikuwa hatuna siasa safi. ndio maana tumepelekea taifa la Tanzania kuwa katika hali iliyopo hivi sasa.
It has been very interesting to see how these elections have happened, and I think that it was done in a very democratic way. But the best thing is to remember that when you have been competing internally, then you're all going to compete externally, and I wish you best of luck.
Denmark has been engaged in development in Nepal for many years. I normally say in whatever speech I give on democracy and the development of a democratic and transparent society that takes a very long time. But I think that we have an experience to share. I see an interest on the part of Nepali political leaders. It's quite clear that the whole notion of the political parties working together in a somewhat informal setting will have an impact on their way of conducting business.
What do we learn from Denmark? Because we are all mountains and you have no mountains. We are so inspired by that. We're so alike as a human being. And few days ago, some of our colleagues back in Bhutan, they said, okay, are you really learning something? Tell us about politics. And I wrote 2 sentences. I said, to sum up here, the politicians, parliamentarians, ministers, they behave like citizens. And citizens behave like a parliamentarian. This is like shocking or inspiring to me. The way we understand is here, democracy is about truth and trust. It's about people. It's not about politicians. It's about practice. It's not about politics. It's about purpose. It's not about payment. And this is something that we'd like to take back. We have 5 politicals from Bhutan. After the last election, we never laughed so much that we did in Denmark. We never laughed so much with our friend Nepal. And we realized that while we are in Denmark, we are like a Danes. If we can be in Denmark like a Danes and in Bhutan like a Danes, I think there's hope for democracy, and this is our...
There's not one way to the end of a democratic process. There are many different ways. But I think our strength is that we have been able to establish a very close, often very personal relationship with the political parties that we are working with.
बाउनको छड्केका नै बाउनीको पोते आजकलका बाउनले त हलो पनि जोते पाउन बाजे यो धर्म छोडेर खान लागे बरै सुरै मारे